What's up, y'all? My name is Sahara, and welcome back to another speed build. As I said in my first one, I have really been, wanting to practice more and more building, and so I've been trying to find different ways to challenge myself because I'm not a good builder, like at all. And like you'll see if you're watching and really paying attention during this, like I struggled for this one for a good long while. And like now that I'm looking back over it, I realize that there are certain things that I left out, like certain decorations and stuff. Because what you need to know about this particular build and the idea I had about this build is that this is my family's first home. And by my family, I mean myself, my husband, and my son. The reason that I've been so kind of sparse lately, I wasn't able to post on Friday, is because we looked at three different houses on Friday. It came time for us to look for a bigger place. You know, my son's getting older. My husband and I really want him to have a bigger yard and some space, and we did just get an Australian Shepherd. We had an Italian Greyhound before that, and he passed away in February. But even though he was a greyhound, and greyhounds really love to run, they're super chill and relaxed dogs who really just want to hang out with you. Like, give them a good run in the morning, and they're like super chill for the rest of the day. Our new little girl, Rue, she's not like that. And so she really deserves some space that she could really call her own. And it's the same with our son. Our son is a super outdoorsy kid, which is not necessarily myself and my husband's personality. So we kind of started the process of looking for a new home for us and for our family. And I'm just gonna be real with you. It has been so stressful. There have been so many days when I have cried over this entire process. And not that our agent, he's wonderful. My husband has been more than supportive, but I'm not a person who deals well with change. I think that can be said for a lot of people in general. But yeah, I thought that maybe if I built some of the houses, because every house we've seen, there have been pieces of each house that I've enjoyed, but there's always been just something that has just turned me off to it, and I haven't really picked one yet. So this is kind of my coping process. So anyway, to the actual build now. Sorry for the little story time. But this is our first home. Now, granted, the roof I hate because roofs are awful. I was never good at them. And you're seeing me here now. I'm just kind of working on the outside, kind of debating, what I'm gonna do. I did on this one put a secondary door into that part of our house is the garage. But there, I know I could have gone and gotten like the little things from like the debug menu and stuff like that, but I don't know. I was just like, well, I'm just gonna put this here because I think it looks cool. So I'm kind of placing the doors. Now, again, it's not a perfect rendering of our home. There are a couple of walls that are a little out of place. But it would have required me to go to a bigger lot in order to really do this home the exact way it's done at our house. And I didn't want to do that because one of the biggest reasons that we're moving from this house is because of how small the yard is. The house is a fairly decent size for, us, just the three of us here, and the dog, and we have a kitten as well, or a cat. He's not a kitten, he's like seven. He's my kitten. But I really want my son and our dog to have space to call their own, and that's something that we can't get here. That's something that they have nowhere to grow, and that's a problem. So yeah, I just tried to make this um, as close as I possibly could. And you're gonna see there's not a ton of stuff on the walls. And it's because my husband and I, we lived in apartments for 10 years while we were in college, and he went to law school. And like the first 2 years we were married, we lived in an apartment. And I just haven't collected a whole bunch of things to put on the walls. There's not a whole lot of decoration. I guess because I just lived, we lived in apartments for so long, there's just really was no reason for it. Like, I put up curtains in some of the rooms, and in some of the rooms there's not. There's just blinds, but I don't like the way the blinds look in The Sims. I don't know. Now, the only room that really has decoration truly in our house, and you're going to see it here, is our son's room. Our son's room is very decorated, and I think it's because he was a baby when we brought him home, and we brought him here. I think he was 2 weeks old when we bought this house, so people really want that for little ones. So he has, the all the stuffed animals, and he has this great sign above his bed with his name on it and Star Wars, and it's things that he really enjoys. But his room is really the only one that has true decoration. There are a couple places in the house where, like, I've hung something up. Like, I mean, I think most of you who watch know that I'm from South Carolina. My husband's best friend, he does a lot of woodworking, and he made me a cutout of some pallets in the shape of South Carolina, with the word home on it, and that's hung up in our hallway. But I didn't put that up. I could have put the little wooden hearts up, but I didn't think about that. It's just not something I thought of. So didn't do that. Also, there's a couple of times where I've changed out some lighting fixtures, and that's just because the person who remodeled this house when they were getting ready to sell it, they didn't match any of the fixtures. So, like, we have brass fixtures, we have nickel, we have, shiny, the silvery kind, and it's so frustrating. So I tried to do, justice and actually find things that fit, because that's what we've been slowly doing throughout the years. And I'm sorry if you hear my dog crying, she's just not having it today. Um, but I've been slowly changing those out. Because, like most people our age, we have a ton of student loan debt, and it's like, well, I can either pay off a loan or I can replace the lighting fixture in my house. So usually those kind of take it to the back burner. But anyway, we're doing the living room and stuff now, and like I said, it's basically one gigantic room, and then the bedroom's kind of separated off from that. And I kind of went through the rage that a lot of builders in The Sims go through during this time period, which is, why does nothing match? Why are there no matching love seats? Why does nothing match? I also put the build, or the shelving unit with the TV in it, from Tiny Living in the corner, because the way that our house is built is that the fireplace is in the corner. Um, and they've like flattened that wall, and really built the fireplace on that. But I didn't like any of the fireplaces, really, for this house. I kind of looked at them before I started to build, and I don't know, we don't really use the fireplace. One, because we live in South Carolina and it's cold like maybe 2 weeks out of the year, and then it snows, and everybody's like, oh, get the milk and bread. You know that meme? If you're Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you see that meme go around. Yeah, that's talking about South Carolina. And maybe other places in the South too, but I can confirm, as a South Carolinian of 33 years, that that is definitely us. So, um, but well, that was a good rant. But I didn't really like it, and so, like, if I had my way, I would definitely put an entertainment center in that section. That's where our TV is anyway. We had it. We had people come in and run electricity over the fireplace, so it just made sense to my brain. Now I'm working on my son's room, and as you can tell, I did put that big artwork back there behind his bed. That was the closest thing I could find, because it's built on like wood pallets and stuff. Um, but he's getting in, he's got a little fish tank. He has two fish that he adores. He used to have four. They were named Athos, Porthos, Aramis, and the beta fish D'Artagnan. We have lost D'Artagnan and Athos, so we only have Porthos and Aramis left. Shouts out to you if you know where that's from. But I also put the dinosaur in the corner, because he has a 3 foot size version of Blue from Jurassic World, um, which he loves, and he drags her around to the house to this very day. That was given to him by his godmother. So now I'm working kind of on our section of the house. And as you can see, our room is completely, empty other than our bed and one bedside table. I do have a dresser that I kind of left out just because I didn't want to put it up there, because again I couldn't make the shape of this room quite perfect, and I was afraid that if I put it where it was going to block the door, and then we were going to have the Sims yelling at you, I can't get there. So I just kind of left it out and left it empty. But obviously if you download this house you could go back in and change that. And now I'm just kind of making a little closet because we do have a huge closet in our bathroom, which is really nice. And then I'm just kind of finishing up, doing some little touches. You'll kind of see me scanning around a little bit. I'm looking for the perfect rug. But yeah, it's super, normal and, just super plain, which is going to help us when we try to sell it, I know. And now I'm just kind of filling out the last little bit, doing some landscaping, some painting. These bushes, pretty close. We do have a tiny fountain out front, but I, again, couldn't figure out how to make it make sense in my brain, so I just left it out. And then we recently redid the front area because we knew we were getting ready to sell. So, also I'm doing the tracing around the edges with the terrain paint, which is something that I saw Vixella do for the first time. Love Sasha. Love to watch her build. She has no faith in herself, but she's a great builder. And so that's something I've started doing recently. Um, so anyway, I'm just finishing up here. And again, I picked this lot because I wanted that small backyard. And now I'm just kind of putting in the final touches. Little trash can. I do have some planters on my back porch, a wind chime. My son does have a little pool that he plays in, and a swing set. And I think that's about where I start wrapping it up. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. This lot is on the gallery. It is 436 first home, and like I said, it's just a makeup of our first house, and it's kind of helping me deal with the stress of finding a new one. But anyway, guys, I'm wrapping it up, and I hope you're having an awesome day.